Let's welcome the teams of Dynamic Cebu FC and Kasuka FC.
Second leg ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup 2025-2026 qualifying playoff stage. It is leg 2 now. As we've said, moments away from kickoff. We've got Dynamic Herbs Cebu FC of the Philippines squaring off with Kasuka FC of Brunei Darussalam. Leg 1 took us to the Hassan al-Bolkiah Stadium in Bandar Seri Begawan, the capital of Brunei. We are now at the historic Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila, the capital of the Philippines this time around. And things a lot spicier now, or the action more hot despite of the weather, as we will take it through, or take things through our starting 11 at the moment. Minimal changes right here for Cebu FC, the Gentle Giants as they are called. Paulos is in for Azim Zadeh and Abu C is in for Kore. But it's a 4-4-2 formation as we with those familiar names we saw in leg 1. Our officials also geared up for this one, and as we see, it's the legs of Akasha Alpadoe, our lead referee from Singapore. His assistants are also from the same country, in Kaiwani Manoj and Jivaraja Asokraj. They are from Singapore again, as we've said. Our fourth official, Nguyen Man Hai, is from Vietnam. Let's get to our VAR, or video assistant referees. The first assistant is Somsing Torpong of Thailand, and the second VAR assistant is Bumikart Songkran from the same country. Our match commissioner is Simanotan Chamantong from Laos, and our referee assessor is Azimi bin Abdullah from Malaysia. And let's get to our starting 11 this time around for Kasuka FC, who are now the visitors in the return leg. And they do have 2 changes, or 1 change to be precise, when we'll take a look at the formation and just break things down further. It is the 3-4-2 is in for Carvalho. 1 foreign player out and another foreign player in right here for Kasuka. Substitutes, of course, let's see how they'll be able to make an impact. You could expect the likes of Wafia Minudin to bolster the defense here of Kasuka. And perhaps a player like JB Berlangan, based on the first leg, could enter and add a spark into the attack. And both squads have international experience without a doubt, and with no surprise, there's a look at Coach Ramos for Cebu FC. Both squads are quite confident, given that they did get to look at that first leg to scout and study their opponent. Perhaps did a better job with their homework. That could spell the difference right here as we are nearing kickoff. And Kasuka FC did actually play a qualifier for the continental stage about 3 days ago. So it works both ways. There could possibly be fatigue, or on the flip side, you could say that they have that rhythm, because both teams here are still in their respective pre-seasons. So they could be in rhythm, or they. And for Cebu, on the other hand, if things work their way, they will be rested, and they get to just focus on Kasuka FC only, given that they only played about 7 days ago, as we are less than 10 seconds away from kicking this off. And it will be Kasuka once more to kick off this game. Expect Jacob to give us something fancy like that, as we got to witness their all red uniforms. As there's a collision in the middle. What a blazing start for Kasuka. We didn't even get to run through our welcome remarks, you could say, or our start of the game protocol, where we introduce our teams. Kasuka in the same uniforms as the first leg in that blue and red. Cebu in all red this time around. Pinto getting through the middle. They hit it to the right now. First spell of possession for the Gentle Giants, and they're looking to start off strong. Trying to play it now. Previous game, but play will be stopped as a man is down for the Gentle Giants. And it's Fatih Kodoy Dodsoda. Cebu's staff did say, call him Fatty for short. Fair play. You gotta give pictured at the moment. The job only 50% done, because as you see at the bottom of our scoreboard, Kasuka leads 2-1 on aggregate. So whoever leads on aggregate will advance to the group stage of the Shopee Cup itself. Fair ball out, given that Fatih was hurt on the left wing of the Yusuf at the age of 41. And with his performance last game, of course, you could argue that he never lost it. This one rattling around, friendly fire between Daisuke Kobayashi and Hugo. And that is why the attack will carry on here for the team in red. We've said again, this is the second leg of the ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup. Or the second leg, to be precise, of the qualifying playoff. Things uncertain in the middle. Cebu's back line not in the same tune there. There was a close opportunity for Jacob to cause havoc and get it in the attacking position. But there's too much physicality from Nazan Zulkifle. Tough start for that young man pictured, the Tajikistani in Fatih. Daniel Gadya playing it. Long ball over the top. Flag is up though here from our assistant referee on the closer end. So Cebu looking a bit more dangerous right after Kasuka FC got his shot on target from the get-go. Here's that play, but it was already offside, as we got to see Kajamirul bumping into Kobayashi. Kobayashi is down. Possession will stay right here with Cebu. Kobayashi continues to be down on the pitch, right at the technical area. You gotta be concerned here, because it is the head, I think, that is being looked at. This game is being played on artificial turf. The last game at the ASEAN Bolkiah Stadium was played on natural grass. From Amirul, the under-23 international of the Philippines. And just like that, he played it short. Repelled by the defense of Kasuka. And And the story, of course, in the last game. And Jacob did get that brace, scoring the 17th and 31st minute. Rico, and this actually leveled things because he did score in the 20th. Chance here from the home side. They went for the near post. Lineup of Coach Ramos. Azim Zadeh was removed from that starting lineup for Paulos, or those are the changes from last game. Another change again, Abu C starting in place of Kore with Kasuka FC. There's Somo Otani taking the place of Carvalho in the starting 11. Otani, though, did come off the bench in the things again a lot spicier. Fantastic play though from Paulos. Tonight we will determine who will book that final seat in Group A of the Shopee Cup. They will advance to the competition proper. Kasuka FC with a handicap. Daldo by his backline. You love the team play. But this attacking wave will carry on for Cebu. Here's a look at that. Andes on the same page as Paulos. Cleared off. Kasuka FC is in a familiar territory. They did take part in the qualifying. Get to advance. So will this be the time for them, of course? Will this be the charm? For Cebu, on the other hand, and it's the first time that the Gentle Giants are taking part in this competition. So perhaps that first leg was that opportunity to shake off some nerves and build chemistry, given that they were trying to connect though immediately with Alves, but a whistle from our referee. But just to wrap up, of course, although Cebu FC is making their debut in this competition, they did get to play in the continental stage for the last 2 seasons, but this is a retooled squad. Great ball there to Alves, still with him, played it, clever ball, trying to beat the back line. Of course, Same shielding that and gets it into the gloves of his keeper, or allows that to get into the safe hands of Jesse Semblante. And as we've said again, Kasuka FC coming from that continental qualifier wherein they lost. So that could be extra game time to hone their tactics, or that could also push them in terms of fatigue. Cebu, on the other hand, may be rusty or rested. These questions will be answered over the course of time, possibly by the 90th minute. But there is the possibility of us advancing to extra time should we be level in the aggregate. Yusuf. Played short. Great eye to get it to Wawang Chufri. Amirul just telegraphed that well. Gadya. Fatih. Struggled to control it. The defense got to recover. Suhaimi. It will still stay with them though. As you see on our screens, it is a rainy Friday evening at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. Temperatures down, of course, but ASEAN teams, ASEAN players, no strangers to these conditions. It's up for grabs in the midfield. Alves and Kobayashi got to swing it over. Slowly. Particularly given that the other top scorers of Cebu did transfer teams or move overseas. Hugo will resume with the throw-in. Collected in the midfield, some shoving here. And shoving was between Kolwebali and Pinto. Pinto and Cebu judged with the foul. That is why Hugo will continue this one. Only 10 minutes done and dusted right here. Conditions extra tricky due to the constant rains. Both teams, of course, got their respective training sessions last night, about 24 hours ago, as this was taken from distance, but the veteran keeper saw that it was wide. Given these are professional football players, they're able to adapt. In the first leg, now to be Cebu's turn. Cebu FC playing though in the city of Manila. But this is a stadium wherein they play their local competitions. So there's still that home field factor nonetheless. From the left for them, and as I say that, possibly some commentators curse. Kasuka FC did bag this spot again to take part in the Shopee Cup qualifying playoff after winning their local league, the Brunei Super League. Cebu FC, on the other hand, did win the PFL Final Series, which is like their Super Cup. The top 4 teams did get to square off in a knockout competition. And Cebu did win that as the lowest ranked team. But both teams, of course, powerhouses in their respective local leagues. Look actually the statistics. Kasuka going undefeated. Draw. And the champions, of course, of the Brunei League did get a whopping plus 85 goal difference. They're navigating traffic now. Pinto. The Portuguese to the Australian. Paulos, looping ball! Almost, but not quite. The crowd was anticipating that one. But as we've said, like a broken record, Wardon used control from Cebu FC when we refer to the midfield. That is why the red shirts will build up from the back and play this one now. Flag stays down. Here comes Andes. I was about to say that he was burying it, but the post came into play. Or Andes. Cebu did hit the goal frame a number of times. Here's another look. Right-footed strike. Got to beat everyone. Or got to beat everyone, including the keeper. They're saying it was last touch against the Kasuka player. Perhaps they got to clear it right after it came off the post. The story of the game last time was Kasuka FC getting those goals in the first half. Cebu tried to chase the game, but to no avail. Kasuka backed on their defense to see it through. And that is why they hold this 2-1 lead in the aggregate. Alves versus Gadya. Gadya got it back. Abu C taking it. Definitely wide though. He was challenged to shoot. The back line of Kasuka was parked at the edge of the goalkeeper box, making it difficult. So glad you could join us again for our club ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup action. We are in the qualifying playoff stage. And this playoff leg will get to play a home game later this month, in about 5 days actually, by my count. Group A participants in the Shopee Cup definitely keeping tabs in this competition too, so that they could run through their scouting also. Here comes a dangerous counter-attack though. It is a foot race. Jacob versus Ledel. It's back though, Semblante. Getting it to Ledel. Ledel, a new signing, as is the case for a number of players here in this team of Cebu. Kasuka with his it's at the back with Hugo, and just lets this one roll out so that they could set up with a goal kick. There's the shot on the pitch, of course, showing us the steady rain. This could be an extra challenge for the likes of Yusuf and Semblante, goalkeepers, of course, on the pitch. And secured. Paulos. The intention was there. The defense also there to read that. Counter-attack time now, collected by the back line, released quickly. And Kobayashi getting beaten by Gadya. But here was Alves to the rescue and securing it now for Kasuka in blue and red. Things a little uncertain between the two teams. And Cebu got it to their goalkeeper so that they could reset. There's the discipline for Kasuka FC. Getting down, numbers down altogether. Amirul plays it to Pinto. Fans, Cebu staff wanted something. Referee took no interest. Challenge from behind though. And a whistle here. We are going to see a yellow against Kamis. Jacob is down on the pitch and it is definitely rattled. Play stopped for a moment, of course, not just because of the foul, but for time to attend to the injured player in Jacob. This will be a free kick from the left wing. Well, despite of the battles we've witnessed in the midfield, it's been Cebu getting the ball more into the attacking third and trying to come up with combinations to get through the midfield and counter. Well, they've been contained by the Cebu midfield and defense. Well, let's recall the team in blue again from Pranay did get a shot on target at the start of this game. And now it will be a service from the left wing, courtesy of Pedro Alves. Alves, one of the foreign players here, and he is from Brazil, as is the case for Hugh. And there's also Adam Kolibali, who yellow card of Kamis. I believe we may be getting a check, a double check of things also, given that we have VAR in this game, but I doubt that, of course, because it was a close free kick. Well, play was resumed. So, the damp pitch, of course, playing a factor. A man down for Kasuka. Flag stays down. It's a Des versus the keeper, Yusuf. But gets denied here by the veteran, as we've said. And there's the frustration from the home side, the relief from the visiting side. But play stopped once more as they off the camera briefly though is that player. He's back on his feet, showing his adrenaline. It's onto the left wing now. It will go back the way of the visitors. Hit to the left now. The cross too low, but the shot taken! And somehow it is drilled in. But I believe it is no good because there's a whistle from our referee signaled that it is offside. There was the whistle from our referee, and the flag was raised without hesitation from the linesman or the assistant referee. That would have been a highlight if it counted. But we are getting a VAR check based on the signals of our referee. It is both sides, of course, with that hope. Cebu hoping that the call will be reversed and that the goal will be considered. Kasuka hoping, of course, that the offside call will be upheld. Offside or a foul, to be precise. The flag was raised. Motion of an offside call, but none. So on the hands, of course, of our referee and his assistant VAR crew. Where it's all up to our head referee, of course, and our video assistant referees. But the time continues to tick. The tension continues to rise bit by bit. A heated game despite of the cool weather in Manila under the bright lights. We can also run through the different scenarios actually for this playoff leg. Stage proper with at least a draw here. A win for Kasuka in this game will secure things beyond any doubts or complications. A Cebu win by 1 goal after 90 minutes though will send us to extra time. And extra time, of course, will be determined. Necessary to determine a winner in this two-legged tie. Of the ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup. Now, whoever will advance will get a home game in the group stage in about 5 days from now. To be added in additional time too. Our referee, of course, leaving things up to his video assistant referees. The referee himself has the authority also to check on the screen, which is close to the fourth. And with the different competitions in the AFF level. And that just shows the growth of the game, of whether you refer to the club stage or the international stage, the senior men's level, also the women's level, and the youth stages too. With the uncertainty, players just taking paces around mentally and physically. Here's the signal, and the goal stands right here. The celebration delayed because of the VAR check. So the initial call of the referee, there was a foul to say that this goal will not count. But that call is overturned. Credit the goal to the man pictured here in Esrom. I believe it came off a defender. There were doubts, of course, because that cross was somewhat thwarted, but somehow Paulos worked his magic, drilled it past the veteran keeper Warden Yusuf, who has been a force, not just for this team, but for this competition as a whole. And here's an attack that just a delightful ball, but read well by the 41-year-old goalkeeper. This pass a little bit wayward. Afi Aminuddin, a national team veteran, gets it. But here comes Recon Guest, wanting to pounce. The Gentle Giants, with the snap of a finger, take the lead on the aggregate, but not just in this game. No VAR check or anything. That means our referee saw things clearly. It's also confirmed by our venue announcer, who is in communication with the general coordinator, who was in turn in communication with the referee. Things got shaky at the back for Kasuka. The Gentle Giants just pounced on that. Rico and Des, 2 goals in 2 games. And Des, the man who scored Cebu's inaugural goal in the Shopee Cup. But let's not forget, in the course of this game, the other player who scored again to break the ice was Esrom Paulos of Australia, who is from Australia. 3-2 is the score on aggregate. Kasuka FC's goals actually did come from Jacob Njoku last game. Kasuka FC in the first leg did take full advantage of the opportunities that they created. And in that second half, back home in the first leg, Kasuka pounced on banked on their defense. But 3-2 is the score on the aggregate. A goal here for Kasuka will put us in level terms, but a goal again for Kasuka will put things on level terms, but that's in the aggregate. Call or expensive wake-up calls for the team from Brunei, as they got forward in the right to no avail. What a touch though there from Afi Aminuddin. A collision though in the middle of the field. Our referee taking the initiative now and pausing play. Pinto has taken a number of knocks also, not just in this game, but in the entire qualifying playoff round. But almost 30 minutes done and dusted right here in Manila. The rain continues to pour. We did show our weather conditions earlier also. There's a 5. There's some wind actually blowing into this. That 91% chance of rain has definitely kicked in as we look at the Temperature 27 degrees. And it is the rainy season after all in this part of the world. Quick touches here. Alves trying to work his magic. It's 2-on-1 though. Both sides know each other well again. That's the challenge as always, of course, when you play a two-legged playoff round. But this one will go back the way of the red shirts. Let's recall again that teams are allowed to place those 7 players are allowed to be in the field at the same time. Quite a change as opposed to quite a change when compared to last year in the Shopee Cup, where teams participating were allowed to nominate 5 foreign players and 1 ASEAN player. Now here comes this looping ball back to Paulos. A little bit of that shake and bake, crossing it off the defender. He will try to collect. He was facing some opposition though from the defense. You can just see how the pace of the game has changed. One goal each. Trying to switch things up here though. Things shaky at the back again. Rico and this was too far, of course, to pounce, and Nazan Zulkifle was able to get it confidently to Yusuf. Playing it wide now. Amang Chufri. Jacob. With a gutsy sliding tackle though from Kamis. Gutsy because he is on the yellow. These two teams, of course, are just going to get better over the course of this game. It's now the second leg. They did get some game mileage now under their respective boots. And we say that, of course, because of their respective local leagues being in the preseason. So match fitness and chemistry are still, of course, on that stage of development. Gadya playing this one back. If Gadya's the workhorse here for Cebu, the team in red, it is Kolibali for Kasuka. Amirul. Seems like that ball went outside actually. But this cross is denied by the veteran center back in Afi Aminuddin. It will be corners again. Corners being dictated by Cebu in this. Much the story last game. Kasuka FC containing the corner kicks and free kicks of Cebu. But in Kasuka's perspective, their defense was locked in and they only conceded 1. Afi Aminuddin's brother, Wafi, is a sub once more. This Kasuka squad is stacked with experienced players from the Brunei national team. When you look at Cebu, they do have a number of players who have picked up appearances for the Philippine men. Current or former under-23 players for the Philippines. Here's a corner again. They go for the back post, but too much power behind that ball. And played now quickly at the back so that they could string those passes together. Zulkifli has actually shifted to the left wing from the right. So Jaime gets it to Hugo. The ball here to the right, stopped by Cebu's captain in Corsame. And so Jaime was unsuccessful initially. But it's now deep in the defending end of Kasuka. Kamis moving off his line. Somehow getting past the middle. Sent off to the side here. Counter-attack time now for Kasuka FC. And was there a trip? And it's against Abu C. And he receives a warning. Alves, of course, a marked man with the way he influenced the last game. But both coaches again, we're optimistic heading into this one. The forward pass. Jacob was contained. A marked man again, thanks to his brace in the first game. Here comes the ball. They get to connect. But they almost get to connect, to be precise. My apologies there. Too much excitement as that was looking promising for Kasuka in blue. Otani almost got a boot to it. Quality ball from Zulkifle. And as we've said again, it's my turn, your turn. Kasuka got their turn to play on home field. Now it's the turn. Build up now from the back. Kobayashi gave that option. Alves. The referee says that's not the case. A 2-0 lead the game. Blue and red. But on the aggregate, it's 3-2. Kasuka FC's goals again coming from the first leg. And there's Jacob again, the goal scorer, or the only goal scorer for Kasuka so far in this two-legged qualifying playoff. Rico Andes with 2 goals in 2 games. And there's also the goal from Paulos, or Esrom Paulos. That's how we find ourselves at the moment. The aggregate after 90 minutes. To extra time. Should we be level? The penalty shootout, of course, which is nerve-wracking for teams. Nerve-wracking for the 2 teams of known for that. Kobayashi. Will he get to spark that control again with his ability in the midfield? There was that rare miscue, you could say, from. They are stable at the back. Kobayashi only getting some altitude with this ball. And there was the intention from Zulkifle to pounce on that one, but he was shielded. With the pace of this game now favoring Cebu, the team in red, given that they lead at the moment. A 1-0 lead in the aggregate, not safe though. Kasuka FC definitely were well aware that their 2-1 lead after the first leg was also not safe. But you'll take any advantage, of course. Here's another ball forward. Is it overhit? That's never the case if Enrico Andes chases it. Pinto hits the brakes. Alves down, hoping to contain Amirul. Pinto playing it. The right back's ball gets denied though by the effort of Zulkifle. So that advantage of Kasuka FC. Just this. But when we got to listen, of course, to the words of Coach Ramos of Cebu, given that they only trailed by a goal after the away leg, they were looking optimistic and were keen on pouncing on their home field advantage for the second 90 minutes. Players down for both teams. Pinto did get to head it. Abusi returned it. The Senegalese to the Portuguese. Now to the Australian. Paulos Esrom. It is, or it appeared to be off target, but Warden Yusuf, of course, had the best. We'll mention them once more for Kasuka FC of Brunei. There's Kobayashi and Otani giving the Japanese influence. And then you have the creativity of Pedro Alves and Hugo. And there's Adama Kolibaili from Ivory Coast. Let's not forget Jacob and Joko too, of course. A corner once more. It's an in-swinger. The header was no good. Jacob Njoku from Nigeria. Fati whips it in, a looping ball. Yusuf gets it, wants to spark something in transition. The long ball, playing the main man. Liddell gets whistled though. Liddell trying to say this is a slip. Well, we do see that Njoku is in pain on the pitch. And Njoku, a well-traveled player, able to play also in the Middle East to add to Southeast Asia. And we do recall also that this was the same spot where a Kasuka FC player was downed on the left wing, just outside the technical area of the home team, Cebu FC. It's the same spot, or a similar spot. Will it be a different result though here? The keeper may have gotten his gloves to it. Got the job done though with his back line. Cleared up by the captain. But it leads to his opposite man in Aminuddin. Aminuddin, the skipper again of this team. But it's counter-attack time now for Cebu. Getting it to the left. Will they cross again? They've been looking dangerous. But cleared off well. Hugo again with defensive duties. But didn't get distance. Now they get to escape the danger zone. But it's at the feet here of the Gentle Giants. Amirul. There's a foul here against Pinto. And Kasuka FC back in full force. Jacob Njoku back on the pitch now. 11v11 once more. About a minute away from additional time right here. Shopee Cup 2025-2026 qualifying playoff. This playoff again is being played over 2 legs. We are going to aggregate the scores here from the first leg and the second leg. And at the moment it is Cebu in the lead 3-2. Kasuka FC did enter this game we also did mention earlier, Kasuka did have to play a qualifying playoff game similar to this, but at the continental or in the continental stage. So do they have that chemistry now when it comes to playing games on the pitch, as that could help you, of course, over time, as we have 6 minutes to be added on. Or on the flip side, will that lead to fatigue from some of your players? For Cebu FC, could there be rust given that Cebu only got to play that game against Kasuka? Or could you also be rested? The correct answer, of course, will emerge at the end of this game. Things favoring .6 minutes added on again, given that we had that stoppage for a VAR check. Or that VAR check overturned the call against the first goal. Esrom Paulos. That is his first goal for Cebu FC. It's with the keeper now outside of his box. The either saying it's theirs here. Pinto and Zulkifle trying to get that call from the referee. You see again how this game has changed because of the conditions. It's with Corsame. Corsame, born in the city of Manila, but represents Cebu, so it's special for him. International competition, as is the case for a great number of players actually of Kasuka FC, born and raised in the capital of Brunei, Bandar Seri Begawan. A very long list, come to think of it. Amirul, the heavy touch. That's why it was with Alves. Kolibali, he has been a bit quiet in this game, save for the spell, but could it lead to a goal for them? Liddell desperately got it wide. Jacob came so close. Yep, he's applauding that effort though. Some momentum going the way to Kasuka FC of Brunei Darussalam. And it will be a corner kick now. Not too many corner kicks for Kasuka FC, but we are aware again from the first game that they made the most out of the opportunities that they carved out. It was from open play though. This is a set piece. Can they pounce? Not the case here though, as they were contained by the defense of Cebu, to the applause of the crowd. It's a 4-4-2 formation for Cebu, scoring off with that 3-4-2-1 of Kasuka. They'll continue to stay with the blue and red. And Warden Yusuf has really been keen on playing it. About 3 minutes remaining now until we hit the 6th minute in additional time. This was clean according to our referee, as Pinto gets it wide now. Paulos showing his shiftiness, being patient. Some slipping and sliding from both sides. Alves cautiously bringing it up. Kobayashi. Shami Suhaimi. Wide to the right. Will they stretch the defense here? We were saying that because as of late, Kasuka FC have been going through the center and the left. Could that extra width now be the boost for them? Hugo up. cautiously as one of their main men on defense. And here's the gutsy stop to deny Zulkifle. Throw in now from deep, getting it inside the box. Back to Zulkifle. Jacob. A lot of power there, connecting with Alves. Shooting, getting it through the legs though of the defender, but off target. Would have been spectacular if it found the back of the net. Spectacular on its own already. Begging Kamis to put up that shot. Here's a corner now. Momentum has shifted. Yashi the cross. The keeper couldn't get it. Got to bat it away though. And it's Fati now up against his counterpart on the same side of the pitch. And Awang Jufri, of course, has shifted to the right, given that Zulkifle is on the left. As it's offside here. Now it's out wide. Otani. And as he plays it back, that ends the first 45 minutes. In the Shopee Cup. Teams, of course, have that opportunity to make adjustments at the half. But at the moment, it's 2-0 in favor of Cebu over Kasuka FC. We'll be back, of course, for your second.
The foodies. The inner circle. You aren't just one person, so why should your travels be any different? Discover perfect stays for every you. Be our guest star. Book now at all.com.
here in the city of Manila, but also the traffic, of course, given that it is a Friday. Back again for your ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup 2025-2026 qualifying playoff action. So glad you could join us again as this second half was kicked off now. Cebu wanting to strike from the get-go. That's why they played it quickly to the attacking end. But such a physical start. The ultimate aggression from Fatih. Game respects game right there between Fatih and his counterpart, or his matchup in Awang Jufri. There's the aerial duel. It seemed that Jacob was unable to win that, as Ron Paulos got it wide. That's why there's this foot race. A foot race, of course, but players have to be a bit tentative given the slippery nature of the pitch, thanks to the continuous rains. And the rains, of course, carried on in particular in the afternoon right here at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila. The two teams also did train under the rain last night. And this is going to be a free kick from the right wing. This is going to be a service for the Gentle Giants, Kasuka FC, with their work cut out. And let's get to this. Kasuka FC of Brunei need to score to keep their hopes alive. If we end with this scoreline, it will be Cebu getting this one forward now, thanks to Otani. And the long ball now played to Jacob, but it is overhit to his frustration. Do I say frustration at first, but he did applaud that effort. Just double checking, of course, with the body language. Semblante opting for some time wasting now. No subs from the looks of it after the halftime break. Also, we just double check things, of course. Substitutions are announced, or when subs are that is for protocol, of course. Oh, and this may have been a high boot here. That's gotta hurt though for Coulibaly. Not Coulibaly, Monafia Minudin. Sends his apologies. Thankfully, it's not as bad as it looks. Afia Minudin, of course, without a doubt, tried and tested. Jufri got to cut it in. And Joku Jacob. They're forcing the defense of Cebu to scramble, but they launched this shot that sailed over, courtesy of Coulibaly. They're getting a shot on now, some rhythm for Kasuka FC. Countering that aggressive start from Cebu. It's a 2-0 game at the moment again. Esrom Paulos did get to score along with Rico Andes. Kasuka scoreless at the moment, but their two goals did come again in the first leg. And that game was played at the Asano Bukia Stadium. They played in the comforts of their home. Half, of course. But both teams were aware, of course, that the 2-1 scoreline after the first leg. Optimistic heading into this game. And what more, there's that extra challenge with the rainy conditions. A foul here to the frustration of, not to the frustration of Abu C. The foul was against him, but Abu C was a bit frustrated or heated. He wanted to ensure that he was on the same page with his teammate Fatih Kudoido Zoda. Both teams again in their respective pre-seasons and are building their chemistry on the fly. He's out to bounce back again from that difficult game back in Brunei. Coach Ramos not happy there with the showboating, of course, from his captain. Otani. Coulibaly got to thread the needle. Alves with the right intentions, but couldn't get it. And Liddell was asking for an extra option, asking his goalkeeper to open up. Or Kamis will send this one over the top. Delightful control, the Uzinas from the crowd. But this is sent to the side. It's for Kasuka FC now in a test of character too, of course, to add to playing with the, or to add to playing away. Well, Cebu did get that test, of course, having to play away in the first leg. Tonight again, we will determine who will book that final seat in Group A of the ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup. Chance here now from the home side. Effectively, it's a corner kick. It took a bounce of the defender. Picked up here. It was a corner in the right wing, and now it will be a throw-in from the left. Was stopped. And still with the captain. Things getting physical. And then it's a foul though. It's a foul against Kasuka FC and Zulkifle. Zulkifle has been position. Correction though, from what we mentioned. It's a foul against the Gentle Giants, being not so. Kasuka with a chance to kickstart their engines. Well, Kasuka FC would like to change things up, of course, when you look at the previous edition of the Shopee Cup. The team from Brunei did fall in the qualifying playoff last time, but they're hoping to use that experience to their advantage and then seal a win here and then get additional games with ASEAN's finest clubs, as Pinto is a marked man. Pinto's been a marked man, of course, from the get-go in the first leg. Performance in the first game. As Coulibaly looks on. It's carried on now. Trying to get things going with all his might, running into traffic. Here, a steady rain again continues to be that curveball. The players have definitely adjusted to the conditions here. Perhaps we could also expect changes from our coaches in hopes of changing the complexion of the game. For Kasuka, it's could opt to go or take different approaches. They could opt to take the offensive route and get an insurance goal, Or they could also opt to take the defensive route and hang on, which is something we've seen from them also in the last season. But Kasuka, a team with firepower when you look at them in the local league, as Kobayashi sends this one. Still in the danger zone. Shot taken low. We thought it was good, but it is wide. Another shot here, though. Another shot here taken. Only 10 minutes into the second 45. If we are tied on the aggregate, we will head over to extra time to break that tie, of course. But with the scoreline so far, that is not the case. Here's the pressure from Andes versus and it's the slow walk here as they are managing this game. As from Paulos to take this. One of two goal scorers so far, the other being Rico Andes. Did not get the starting nod in the first leg. But got his opportunity right here. Cleared off well by Alves, but Kadia recycles. Nice roam. A little bit of the showboating. Dangerous ball in. Contained well by the defense. He loved the composure here from Kasuka's players. No call here. You see Korsame, the captain, wanting a whip. Second motion here from Korsame and Jacob. Both being contained, of course. Now, we've also said this match a heated one despite of the continuous rains. A heated match because of what's up for grabs. We keep saying again, it is a ticket to play in the group stage, but what more? That's five more international games or games here at the ASEAN level. The loser will bid goodbye to international football for the rest of this calendar. Andes cuts this one back. Nobody to meet it. But you gotta love the effort for Awang Jufri. Gets decked in the process. Not essentially getting this to no man's land, but Otani was there to put pressure. Fati secures. Sees his teammate is offside, that's why he will hold up play. Linesman says this will go the way of the visitors. The home side, Cebu in red, saying it should go their way. Our referee just checking up on things, of course. That call will stand. The ball to slice the defense. But it's still at the back here for Kasuka. But it rolls out of play here to their frustration. Changes though, at the moment they're sticking with their starters to go through. Goal frame here, leaving everyone stunned at the Rizal Memorial Stadium. In this two-legged playoff. I'm not only referring to this game itself, but the first leg and the second leg. The keeper got beaten already. took a bit of a slide. The man with a brace from the first game, dialing the wrong number by just a bit. But you see here how they are staying locked in and staying focused. At just a 1-goal deficit for the visitors, a precarious lead. Confirmation of the score again. The Gentle Giants Carlos drew first blood in this game, and Rico and this once more followed up to score his second Shopee Cup goal. And just going back, of course, with a goal of Rico and this in the first leg, that is the inaugural goal of Cebu FC in this competition. The winner again of this two-legged playoff will play in about 5 days from now in the group stage proper of this competition. We do see Villanueva at the half line. That he is going to enter this game once Corsame is slowly stretchered off. A speedy recovery to him, of course. So the first change of the game is forced. It's due to injury. We were just mentioning earlier that both coaches did not opt to make any tactical changes. And this change due to injury. And play to resume now. Cebu FC with a one-man disadvantage. Still at the half line. There's also Borlongan, as it's a close one, but still no good. That left us stunned also. Rico and Des only had the keeper to beat. Cebu are going to maximize this substitution window because Borlongan will also enter with him. By the skin of their teeth. Kobayashi well down from his usual area. But they clear the choppy waters. Promising ball, some holding on from Liddell. We thought Jacob did get enough when it comes to that burst of speed and the quick step. Hugo. We still continue, of course, to be wowed. Now on the left, but getting contained. Here's that double substitution for the home side. Villanueva enters as expected to take the place of Corsame, the captain. And there is also Fatih Kudoy-Dudzona. He will call it the day after comes longtime Cebu FC player in Borlongan. This change of Borlongan is a tactical one. Kobayashi from distance! But it ricocheted off a man, a defender to be precise. We weren't really expecting friendly fire in a situation like that because that shot appeared to be on target. Kobayashi's shot did lead to that corner, which he is going to take. We are seeing movement also in the technical area of Kasuka FC. Coach Abu Bakar calling the shots for them. Semblante just burning some time off the clock also. Liddell. Liddell, one of many current U23 internationals for the Philippines. A handful of senior national team players for Brunei with Kasuka FC. And with the involvement, see players that also get to play in the likes of the Singaporean. Gade with the captain's armband as one of the team's senior players. But here was the miscue. The discipline of Kasuka FC setting up that formation did test Cebu FC to play that long. Less than 30 minutes remaining now in regulation. If this will stick at the least, Cebu FC will head to the group stage of the Shopee Cup. If Kasuka could score at least one goal, they will be handed a lifeline. Because if we will be level to extra time, given that this is the second and final leg, of course, of this qualifying playoff. So glad you could join us again on this rainy Friday evening in Manila. And the clearance did come off of Villanueva. Alves getting it now. Kolibali. The fake that everyone fell for. Sending it. But there was the denial from Kamis. Aminuddin. Kamis again. For Kasuka FC are now the fourth official stable. There's Kasmi who will enter along with Sharom. A collision here between the two. And there you go, Manduli Kasmi will enter the game. That's just the case. With Shafiq Sharom.
Substitution for Kasuka FC. Player number 23,
Madudi Kasmi did see action also as a sub 7 days ago. And as is the case for Shafiq Sharom. This is his first taste of action in this qualifying playoff round. So those players taking it to the pitch after a brief stoppage. Hugo is at the half line and will re-enter in a bit after being stretchered off. Some great distance there from the keeper. The ball was sent to the middle though, perhaps by a missed touch. Just like that, Jacob putting up a clinic. That ball almost slipped through though, but Villanueva just got it. The subs exchanging touches. Borlonga now getting to release before running into the traffic. Awang Jufri was there to make the stop. But it's Borlonga to Andes now. Andes being taken on well. And here was the fall. A legal contact. Our referee is saying it's a corner. But Andes rolling on the ground in pain from the looks of it. We could expect things, of course, or expect play to be stopped for a bit. And Des is down on the sideline. And then Des gets back on his own feet. And it's Esrom Paulos again. One goal already. That's to his name. The outswinger. With that hustle of Anderson Pinto, just out hustling the fresh legs of Madudi Kasmi. It is going to be a corner kick on the other side now for Cebu FC, the Gentle Giants. About 20 minutes and change remaining now until we'll head over to additional time. The crowd here cheering them on. When we refer to the home side, it's an in-swinger now from Paulo Esrom again. A scramble in the 6-yard box and just cleared again. Gadya trying to send it back again. This will ping-pong around. Jacob is taking on. Maybe just mentioning again the final Group A ticket up with the final Group A ticket up for grabs. Here's a chance now. They're being patient. Kasuka FC getting numbers. Kobayashi did receive it. Angle here to shoot, but they cross it. But just to mention again here, with the winner of this playoff advancing to Group A, they will square off with the likes of Buriram United and BG Pathum United of Thailand. Singapore. And here we go, we're off to the races. The Kasuka FC using their numbers well with that back line and with Afiyami Nudin again. Villanueva now winning that for them, celebrating as if he just scored. Defenders in the game take pride again. Kasuka will roll the dice to the left. Fantastic switch to play Awang Jufrey, but just could not control that one or meet it. He may be suffering from some cramps though. That was confirmed here. These players just giving their all. You also gotta love the sportsmanship here. And Awang Jufrey showing that he is okay. We are going to resume this game with a throw-in. Time definitely. Cebu FC, thanks to their first half heroics, do have the initiative to manage this game, or they do have the luxury to manage this game. It's or you could say when you zoom out, the home sides just pouncing in the first half in their respective. Or you can say teams are pouncing in the first half in their respective home games. Promising connection here. Pinto, keeper to beat. A little bit of shake and bake, but it was just played to the feet though of Shami Suhaimi. And after all, there's the intimidating presence of Warden Yusuf. But Pinto frustrated with how he handled that. If only he could get that one back. Shami Suhaimi with his veteran wits. Right place, right time. You gotta love the hustle there. But it'll be a corner again. Corner 7-2. Legged playoff. Played short this time around. Esrom taking some touches, whips it in. The keeper batted it away. But with this one rolling outside. for the team in red. And Pinto is down again. We've mentioned again, these two teams are in their respective pre-seasons. Will be able to match or get to their optimum fitness levels. It's that process again here. It's 2-0 for Cebu in this game, 3-2 on the aggregate. Kasuka FC's goals all coming from their home leg. That home leg again of Kasuka being the first one. Of how Kasuka FC could handle this. Borlongan, and he's getting physical without Jufri. Jufri has been that force with that two-way effort on defense and offense as that wing back, you could say. To Jaime and Yusuf, or Warden Yusuf, have definitely been tested, defending wave after wave, set piece after set piece, corner after corner. And Borlongan crosses. He is known for this one. It'll be trying to break down Kasuka FC of Brunei. With this, they are depriving the visitors of any attacking opportunities. And if it stays that way, there's virtually get shots on target in hopes of leveling this in the aggregate. Again, but it turns into another goal. Frenzy, and you could argue this puts the series away. Cebu with a 2-goal lead on the race for Rico and Des. Corner kick from Paulo Esrom. Cebu just getting those chains off when it comes to corner kicks. Being listless or being unable to bank on these corners last game is what let the Gentle Giants down. They bounce back here. They score off a corner and they get a comfortable lead over here. Gets it to an opposing man, and that was a laser-like shot, though, that was denied. A quality effort from the substitute in Maduri Kasmi. They put him in, got him a shot on target, and tested the keeper. Just like that, that could give some hope here to Kasuka. Yes, they trail 4-2. But they say it's not over until it's over. 11 minutes plus added time remaining. But still task here for Kasuka FC in blue and red. From that denial, a laser-like attempt, as we've said, from Maduri Kasmi. And a double change coming in. And Haji Adanan will enter along with and Daisuke Kobayashi will step off and call it an evening along with Awang Jufri. Gotta give and consistency in this game. A 3-0 game here. Rico Andes with a brace. And Esrom Paulos. But also in the other goals that they managed to score. Time continues to tick, and you could expect the lost seconds or minutes to be added later on, as we've seen with the development of the game. That's the curb. Time wasting, of course. Referees will just add it back right at the end. We lost some time due to VAR earlier. Referees added it right at the end. But this is a looping ball, still in play. And cleared off by the defender. As is the case for teams in the lead, we'd see them melt the clock. A 4-2 lead for Cebu in the aggregate. Kasuka FC of Brunei Darussalam with goals again from their home leg, or from the first leg. Atanan. Jacob. He's been listless today. It hasn't been his evening. Throw in taken down the line. Anan. And the attack just delayed. And Cebu opting to bring up their fullback in Villanueva to take this one as he takes a slow stroll up. They tried to go for Andes. He's been the man in form. Andes taking this one. It may have come off a defender. And that's why it'll be a corner once more. Quite a crowd again right here in Manila, the Rizal Memorial Stadium. There's also a great amount of fans from Brunei to cheer on Kasuka. There's also the Philippine football community pictured when you look at the grandstand left to the unideal delivery though. Villanueva almost got to pounce. Took the throw in, but the referee did say it is great distance covered from the effort of Atanan. But we just saw it went on here. And Villanueva taunting Njoku Jacob, celebrating that stop. Jacob hitting him in the face. Villanueva may have made the most of that, but a hit to the face, always critical. Unnecessary, you could say, from both sides. Players from both teams just trying to pacify things. But when you look at when you look at the scenario, of course, this does not help Kasuka, who are looking to play catch-up. It's helping Cebu because time is being taken away from the game. But so far, we did get to see that only Jacob was booked. Our referee is consulting his assistants, and that unnecessary. And again, it's a playoff game. Much up for grabs. For the tournament proper of the Shopee Cup 2025-2026 season. Here's another look. Villanueva got the clearance. It came off of Jacob. And Jacob hitting the side of Villanueva's neck. And Villanueva falling, holding on to his face. We do have VAR in this game. I think our referee just double-checked things. Effectively, that was a foul against the striker of Kasuka, who is from Nigeria, in Jacob. Adanan inserting life here, but sadly gives it, though, to an opposing defender. Rafael Minuti to chase. Great composure to play at the ground rather than just give it away. And since they played it on the ground now, they had to string combinations. As Hugo got it, though, they played it long. Villanueva and Jacob. Here we go now. Esron Paulos dictating traffic, driving it. Flag stays down here. Well-timed ball. Rico Andes gets it. Being pulled. Referee took no interest. There's that gap in the midfield now as the defenders will try to close in. Cebu staying compact, staying solid on defense. They are out to frustrate the visitors. It's a similar script again as the keeper punched it away. And this one is off the head, though, of Adanan. He wanted to get that touch, of course, and keep the ball in play and get it in a prime spot for a teammate to put it away. Back though, but given the circumstances, are they going to deploy him up front perhaps as a target man, as they are, as Kasuka FC are in need of 2 goals just to send this game to extra time at the least. And in this game we have a VAR check. Our referee. But we are about a minute away from additional time or injury time in this game. It's the ASEAN Club Championship Shopee Cup 2025-2026 edition. It's the qualifying playoff round. And our referee is reviewing that penalty non-call on Rico Andes. Decision to review this was made a few moments later. There's a look at our VAR team, of course. But there was the holding, though, from the defense. But it's all up to our referee here. Looks like there is no penalty. So things will continue. Status quo. Here's the sub now. Pedro Alves will call it a day. A difficult one at the office for him.
There will be a minimum of 5 minutes of additional time.
So it seems that Aminuddin did come in for Alves. And there you go, there's 9 minutes rather of additional time. I beg your pardon. There's a correction made on the call. An eternity to play right here. Pinto. Gadya. Porlongan. And with that move there of the Aminuddin brothers being played together now, Hugo is playing up front as the target man to help out with Njoku Jacob. And then here's a whistle with that high level of physicality. And it is a yellow card with the skipper, Afi Aminuddin, the Brunei national team veteran. He's playing alongside his brother now to end this game. First half, and then there was that goal cushion the aggregate for the Gentle Giants, Cebu, who are in red. Kasuka, only the miracle you could say. It's loose from the keeper, but the defense just got it though to Cebu. But his cross was overplayed. Well, this one is out of play already. Aminuddin will bring it up. That's Wafi to be precise. Fresh legs. Numbers getting forward as he is going to launch. He picked up an early yellow, let's remember. Jacob up against Villanueva. They have something brewing again, that tension. Plays this one. Here's the cross. The offside was the call though here. It seems like that was offside when Adanan was played by let's remember again. And Shopee Cup group stage action will commence actually in a few days' time. On August 25 days from now. With this impending result, it will be Cebu who will get to taste group stage action. With Kasuka, this will definitely fuel their team to put up another performance and clinch. It's collected now though by Caspi and brought it up. Hugo. Got to beat Amirul. Amirul has been that silent operator at the back with the red shirts. And here's a shot taken. Sailed just over though. A handful of those chances for Kasuka that were just off target, inches away from testing the keeper. Numbers now forward. It's only the goalkeeper close to the half line for the visitors. They're desperate to at least get one and trim the deficit. And as we say that, Cebu are on the verge of putting in another player in Yuta Nomura. But first, there's this corner kick. taken. Wafi Aminuri almost got it, but it's a counter. Pinto gets this one to Paulos. Plenty of space again because Kasuka committed numbers. Paulos holding up traffic. Some pulling here and gets beaten. They slide it to Norsamri. Trying to get it to the danger zone quickly. But this one is to no avail. They could not play the skipper. And that is right, Afi Aminuddin was playing. Still tries to create! But they cannot get another goal to put this one beyond doubt. Both teams again have come close on a number of occasions. But it's been the night for Cebu FC, being able to put away more of those chances. It's a bounce-back performance here for... He wanted a penalty. Our referee says it's a call against Jacob, hitting the turf out of frustration. There's Liddell down now. Less than 3 minutes remaining in injury time. And Makiling will also enter to add to Nomura. Makiling was just added recently. They've yet to utilize that window, and Nomura's been in the half line for a bit with our fourth official. Let's take a closer look here. A fall from the two. The referee says that this is... We have yet to confirm also who'll be stepping off for the players waiting in the wings. The subs of Kasuka, who did enter earlier in Adan and Kasmi, Norsamri, and Charom, did get to inject some life into their offense, but not enough, as we see from the scoreline. We are confirming now who'll step off. One of them is Rico Andes, who is ending the day with a brace. There's the goal scorers being subbed off right here. Andes and Paulos calling it a day. They could say they played 90 minutes. Makiling in. And a nightmare for visitors Kasuka FC, Brunei Darussalam. Well, they'll go back hungry and will be out again to put on a clinic in their local league. And Adanan put it back though to Wafi. An offense from Leo Makiling. The intention was there, with the defense in a better position. That's Afi Aminuddin to be precise. They slide it now here. Cleared off. It may even be a corner. That's good. Three-0 is the scoreline again, but it's 4-1 aggregate. Here's the delivery. And sent over to the other side for a corner once more by Nomura, the Japanese player. And as we've mentioned again, they'll be playing 3 Shopee Cup games on the road and 2 at home here. As the keeper is down on the pitch. We're about a minute past already the allotted 9 minutes. And the referee blows his whistle and confirming the scoreline. Cebu FC, the Gentle Giants, bouncing back. They took a close-fought 2-1 loss in the first leg, put it away, and they had to win at least by 2 goals to seal the playoff win here on aggregate. The Gentle Giants, though, put 3 home in front of the fans in Manila. But you have to give credit, though, to Kasuka FC. It was a tough day, but they did show plenty of character. Here, Andes with a brace, along with that goal from Paulos to make it 3-0 in leg number 2. But the Gentle Giants, Cebu FC, sealed this one in qualifying round. But hey, as we mentioned, we have the group stage coming up, and we are going to see you soon.
Simply follow the coach's plan, and today is our day, and all the coach plan is it works. It works now today. Thank you so much for the Cebu Football Club, to all fans of Cebu, IDH Cebu, to my family. Right now, thank you all. Yeah.
Think, as we expected, Cebu will pressure us from the start, and I think the first 2 goals was just a silly mistake from us, and we'll look back at the game and hopefully we'll learn from it.